We all know, a lot of African countries have suffered from extreme poverty for decades despite sleeping on resources worth billions. African leaders don't understand the true value of their nations yet, and one African nation may be worth more than the entire European continent with the immense resources within its borders. In this video, we are going to talk about the second largest country on the African continent, which is well known for the availability of a vast range of natural resources, but considered to be the second poorest nation in the world. The Democratic Republic of the Congo, aka DRC, is home to 89.6 million people, and 73% of them have an income below the extreme poverty line. Why are these people suffering in such extreme poverty while living in a nation with resources worth billions? We are going to analyze the causes behind the extreme poverty of this Central African nation. Before we proceed, hit the subscribe button and smash the bell icon for more exciting updates. Congo is a country seemingly blessed with each and every type of mineral within its territories. Crude oil, cobalt, gold, tantalum, diamonds, and copper are the main sources of income for this poor Central African nation. DRC is significant as a cobalt producer, fulfilling 63% of global cobalt demand. The Democratic Republic of Congo is considered the wealthiest nation in terms of untapped natural resources, and the value of those resources is estimated to be around $24 trillion according to the present valuation. But on the other hand, it has become a curse for the nation as foreign nations try to take ownership of their valuable mines and are always trying to find reasons to enter this valuable piece of land. When we carefully examine the history of Congo, all the country's political instabilities have taken place with the direct or indirect support of Western nations. Every factor essential to carry out mega-scale cultivations can be found within this Central African nation, and once they were the largest exporter of rubber. However, with its political instability, a very limited number of agricultural investments flew into the country, as foreign nationals were not prepared to invest in such an unstable nation. Not only a mining-based economy, but also an agriculture-based economy can be developed within this Central African nation if there are stable political conditions to make investments. The Kingdom of Congo existed in a considerable portion of the Western and Central African region until the late 15th century as a well-organized governing body with an impressive civil service. The decline of the Kingdom of Congo began in 1480 with the arrival of Portuguese traders. After arriving in this unknown territory, Europeans soon understood that they were in a land with a vast amount of natural wealth. They were surprised by the body strength and the strong disease-resistant nature of the Congolese people and identified the region as a better location to carry out their exploitative human trade. Europeans wanted to own all of these natural resources, including human flesh, and their freedom to carry out business within the region was limited only by the indigenous political structure of the region. First, they engineered the failure of the existing governing structure, and then they instigated rebel fights against the Kingdom of Congo. Rebel fighters were given money and modern weapons by Europeans, and the Congolese armies with their traditional weapons were unable to resist this rebel attack. The king and his family were slaughtered, and the elites of the administration were slaughtered as well. At the beginning of the 17th century, the Congo Kingdom was without clear political leadership, and mini-states started to appear in the different parts of the kingdom, leading to a civil war between different ethnic and religious groups. Then, the Europeans were able to carry out their business within the kingdom without any obstacles or rules. They started to export innocent Congolese people as workers to America, and according to historical reports, more than 4 million people were forcibly sent to America. The British Empire spread its power in this land full of resources, and English merchants and cities started to grow rich with the help of resources belonging to the Congolese people. However, the present region belonging to the Democratic Republic of Congo was established as a colony of Belgium called the Congo Free State in 1885 under the leadership of Belgian King Leopold II. He was the founder and sole owner of Congo's Free State, and during his regime, this was just private property and never belonged to the Kingdom of Belgium. However, international reports were published regarding the widespread slaughter, torment, and other abuses in the rubber plantations under the leadership of King Leopold II, and the Kingdom of Belgium intervened to fix the problem, finally seizing power of it. Then, it became the Belgian Congo in 1908 and was governed by the Belgian government until granted its independence in 1960. European nations were the real reason behind all the instability experienced by the Congolese people at present. When they were ruled as the Kingdom of Congo, there was a better governance structure and harmony between the different ethnic and religious groups. However, with the influence of European invaders, a strongly divided society was created. That division is still the main reason for the political instability of the country. They were unable to do anything until the establishment of the private empire by a foreign king called Leopold, as the unity among the Congolese citizens diminished. They tried to establish minor states for their respective ethnic groups or religious groups, without trying to gain freedom from foreign invaders as one nation. After gaining their freedom from Belgium in 1960, the whole nation fell into crisis within a brief time period. During the famous Congo crisis, regional governments in Katanga and South Kasai tried to separate from the Democratic Republic of Congo with the help of their former emperor. Belgium sent troops in order to protect the Belgian citizens, but their true desire was to get access to the mineral deposits in that region. At that stage, Katanga province was ruled by Moise Tshombe, who was always against the political philosophy of Prime Minister Lumumba. He was in a region rich with mineral deposits, and he always had the political support and protection of Western nations, which were eyeing those resources. That is why Belgium supported the regional government of Katanga instead of the central government. For the support that he gave the Western nations, including Belgium, to access the valuable mining areas, he was paid large sums of money, and they were directly deposited into his Swiss bank accounts. Actually, Tshombe carried out a rebellion against Lumumba to gain full freedom in making deals with Western nations for these natural resources. A Geneva-based public relations firm called Mark Press portrayed Tshombe to the world as a civilized, anti-communist, popular, pro-Western leader who brought prosperity to the Congo through saving the country from Patrice Lumumba. You can understand how the drama was scripted by Western nations with the aim of stealing the wealth of this Central African nation with the help of political leaders. So, President Patrice Lumumba decided to get help from Soviet Russia to suppress the rebellion. Instead of solving the problem, it was further aggravated as Americans then decided to get involved in the Congo problem. It was not easy to settle the problem, as the Congo crisis became a part of the Cold War between Soviet Russia and the United States. A coup was carried out by Colonel Joseph Mobutu, and Lumumba was removed from power and handed over to the Katangan government for execution in 1961. That is considered a turning point in the history of the Central African nation, as he was a true leader who wanted to establish stability within Congo through a central government. Unfortunately, greedy political and military leaders cared more about their own desires than the stability of the country. The Congo crisis ended in 1965 after US-backed coup leader Joseph Mobutu came to power. He tried to promote the concept of Africanization and put on the appearance of having an extreme love for African citizens. But Mobutu was just a puppet controlled by the United States, and he had no real desire to develop Congo or provide political stability to the nations. Western powers supported him as it made it easier to access the mineral deposits of Congo at cheaper prices. In the final days of Mobutu's regime, the country was invaded by Rwanda, leading to the First Congo War. This aggravated the problems within this Central African nation. As a result of this invasion, his regime was ended in 1997 after 3 decades of ineffective leadership. And if Lumumba had been in power during that period, we might have a totally different Congo today. Mobutu was just a puppet of Western nations like America, and he did nothing to bring prosperity to his motherland except make it easier for Western nations to steal valuable resources from his poor African motherland. Laurent Désiré Kabila took the power of the country, becoming the new prime minister of the state, and renamed the country the Democratic Republic of Congo. He was another ineffective leader who pushed the country towards the Second Congo War. Different African nations took part in this war, and it resulted in further instability of the nation. President Kabila was assassinated by one of his bodyguards, and his son Joseph Kabila became his successor. He was re-elected president in 2006, but the civil war continued. Joseph Kabila tried to stabilize the country with the help of foreign troops, and he established a power-sharing government with the opposition party. He is also considered a corrupt ruler who made deals to sell natural resources in a way that generated personal income. Kabila did nothing to improve the living conditions of the innocent Congolese people, instead making money for himself. Kabila was re-elected president through a disputed election in 2011, and that regime lasted until the end of 2018. Then, a peaceful power transfer happened in 2018 for the first time in Congolese history, and Félix Tshisekedi was elected the new president. When we study the history of Congo, it is clear that Western nations are interested in this Central African nation as it possesses a large amount of natural resources. Civil wars, rebellions, coups, corrupt leaders, absence of strong central government, and the conflicts between regional governments can be identified as the main reasons behind the failure of the Democratic Republic of Congo. All the interventions by Western nations were made not to bring prosperity to this poor African nation, but with the greedy desire of getting access to the natural resources within Congo. That's how the Democratic Republic of Congo failed for years as a result of conflict between Western nations to acquire the ownership of valuable natural resources within the country. Unfortunately, from time to time, there are greedy political leaders who are ready to execute those political agendas without thinking about their own Congolese people. Will they be able to make use of those untapped resources for the betterment of their own society in the future? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel to get more exciting political news. See you guys in the next video. Goodbye.